Konnichiwa Mina. Hello everybody. In this video I want to talk about my PTCGlive ladder/update. So if you guys would like to see more of these types of videos from me, definitely subscribe down below. So let's get started. So the deck that I have been playing the most is Grininja EX paired up with Froslass because Froslass is my second favorite Pokemon, so I guess that's me being biased. But that's the deck I have been playing the most. So I will show you guys the deck list and then I'll talk about some of my matches. So starting off with the Pokemon, I have one copy of Radiant Terrania for the ability Helican Heal. Once during your turn, you may heal 20 damage from each of your Pokemon, which is really good since I run Froslass, and Froslass does damage yourself if you have abilities on the bench. Or like anywhere, like on the board if you have abilities. 4 copies of Froakie, 2 copies of Frogadier, and 3 copies of the MVP Grininja EX. For its first attack, Shinobi Blade, which I love the name of that attack, for 1 water for 170, and then you may search your deck for any card that you want and put it into your hand, really good. And then Mirage Gate for a DCE and a water to discard 2 energy from this Pokemon, and then this attack does 120 damage to 2 of your opponent's Pokemon. So really awesome attack. And I also do like this Shinobi Blade as well. And then 1 copy of Hanafi to protect your bench. And then I run 4 copies of Snorunt for collect to draw a card, but it really does not matter. You're going to be using it for the 3 copies of probably my favorite card in this deck and my second favorite Pokemon, Froslass. For its ability, Freezing Shroud. During Pokemon Checkup, put 1 damage counter on each of your Pokemon that has an ability, both yours and your opponent's except for Froslass. And it does stack, so if you have 3 of them on your board, that's 3 damage counters every single turn, which can really hurt. 1 copy of Rotom V for the instant charge, where you get to draw 3 and your turn ends. And then 1 copy of Cleffa to draw until you have 7 cards in your hand for 0 energy. Now going on to the trainers, supporters, and stadiums. 4 copies of Buddy Poffin. Search your deck for up to 2 basic Pokemon with 70 HP or less and put them onto your bench, shuffle your deck so you can get your Snorunt, you can get your Froakies out. 1 copy of Counter Catcher to switch one of your opponent's Pokemon from their active if you have more prize cards. And then 1 copy of Earthen Vessel to search for basic energy. 1 energy search to search for basic energy. And then 1 copy of Enhanced Hammer in case you face against Lugia, because Lugia does use a lot of special energy. Sorry guys. 2 copies of Nest Ball to search your deck for basic Pokemon. So really good for your Snorunt, your Froakie. 1 copy, so the haste spec that I run in this deck is Prime Catcher, where you and your opponent both switch. So really good. You can't go wrong with Prime Catcher. That's why it's like the most expensive haste spec in the Pokemon trading card game. 2 copies of Rare Candy for your Grininja. 1 copy of Super Rod for recovery. 3 copies of Ultra Ball to search for any Pokemon that you want. And the stadium that I use is Collapse Stadium. Really good. Just being able to just shrink your bench from 5 to 4 can really hurt. And then going on with the supporters. 2 copies of Arven. 2 copies of Boss's Order, that's staple. 3 copies of Iono. Really good card, that's definitely staple. 4 copies of Hirida. You could search for Snorunt. You could search for your Froslass. your Frogadier, your Manaphy. 1 copy of Professor Turbo's Scenario. I've never really used this card very much, so I might replace it with something else because I've never used this card. 1 copy of Roxanne. Each player shuffles their hand into their deck, and then you draw 6 and your opponent draws 2. Really, really good card. And I run 1 copy of Forest Sealstone, which I don't know why I play this card because, well, I guess you could use it for Rotom. That's the only time you're going to be using it for is if you have your Rotom. But, yeah, like, that has never happened very much. 1 copy of De-Evolution. That way you can knock out some of your opponent's Pokemon, potentially, when you take their highest evolution and put it into their hands, so that can cause knockouts. 2 copies of Double Turbo Energy for your Grininja, and then 5 copies of Water Energy. So, yeah, that is the deck. Super, super fun deck to play. I do enjoy it very much. So, some of the matches that I do remember playing is that I do remember facing Charizard. Charizard is still a very strong deck in this format. A little bit of Lugia. Lugia is still very strong. That's why I run the Enhance Hammer to slow them down a little bit. I did face some Dragapult decks, which, like, that deck specifically is super fun. I have played Dragapult a couple times, but I don't think it's meta, like, in my opinion. Like, at least not for right now. Like, I know there has been a lot of talk in the Pokemon TCG community about Dragapult being, like, the meta deck, which I disagree. I mean, like, it is a good fun deck, like I said, but I don't think it's meta. I've faced against like the teal mask, the grass mask, the ground mask, so basically all the masks. That's also a very strong deck too, even though that deck is not my cup of tea. I've tried playing it and it just doesn't fit my playstyle, but still a very, very strong deck. So I've played a little bit of everything, which is really good. So I guess the bad thing about Grininja is that it takes a while to set up, and like a lot of the games that I would lose is that I would have issues setting up my Grininja or setting up my Froslass. But once the deck really sets up, and it sets up quickly, the deck is super, super strong. And I like Grininja, so Greninja's cool, and I do love Froslass. So, yeah, that's basically my PTCGlive update. Not really much to talk about. I always keep losing. That's just what I do, but that's okay. So, yeah, guys, I hope you guys enjoy this video. Please leave a comment, like, and subscribe, and let me know what you guys think about this video down below. And also, what decks are you playing? It could be online or in person. I would love to know. And also, I'm really excited for the next set that's going to be coming out, I think August 2nd, which I think is called Shrouded Fable. So I'm really excited for that set. I cannot wait to see what cards come out in that set, and I might do a video talking about the entire set. So if you guys would like to see that type of video, definitely let me know in the comments. I greatly appreciate it. So yeah, I will see y'all next time.